Yes, ma. Good afternoon, everyone. I am audible. Please respond. Please respond, anyone. Are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is yeah. Okay. So let's we start. So actually, we have started second chapter before to class, and now today we will go for a new topic. So, but in the last class we have seen. See, we are moving towards the embedded systems. Means embedded devices. Means we need to take into the consideration of those embedded devices. So before that, what we have done, we have discussed the basic of the electronics, because any microcontroller or any embedded devices are made up of, obviously, with the help of your electronics. So that is why before we go for the actual microcontroller and all, we have studied the basic of the electronics. Means we have gone through what is electronics, those things we have seen. When you have seen that, there we have divided two major categories like sensor and actuator, and then we discuss in detail, okay, about those two components, right? And then after that, what we have done, we have seen the basic background, or I can say background of the microcontrollers. Okay, so in the last class we have seen the background of the microcontrollers. There we have seen what are the differences between the microcontroller and then the system on chip. I told you that the system on chip will be designed for a specific purpose, so that the functionality will be limited in the system on chip. But whereas in microcontroller, you can have many functionalities, but the memory and interface will be limitation in the case of the microcontroller. Okay, so both are like your on system, means in a single chip they may designed, but will have different functionality. And now if you see the RAM size of your SOC, means system on chip, definitely more than the microcontroller. Okay, so those things we have seen, and today we will go for, now we are moving towards how to choose those devices, based on what criteria we are going to choose. That is important. Okay, so basic things we have seen, background of the microcontroller we have seen. Now we are going to see how those devices going to be choose, how we are going to choose. Okay, and now we are talking about internet of things. In our case, how we need to choose the IoT devices. Okay, so based on what criteria we need to choose these things, the IoT devices. When we are talking about IoT devices, whenever you're trying to buy, you have to look at, okay, so obviously you have to see some parameters, okay, in order to uh, use that devices. What are those parameters? Means, like your example, like you are, before you are going to buy the mobile phone, what you are going to do, you are going to see all the specifications, right? So when you want to take the mobile phone, then you will be see the specification. Okay, specifications you are going to see. So means what is the ram size, okay, what is the room size, okay, and what is the battery, okay, that you are going to see. okay, and what are the advantages of there, okay, when you compare this mobile with other mobile, what are the advantage you get, okay. So all those things means what kind of processor they have used here, which version of Android they have used, all those things we will be seeing before we go for the mobile. When you go to mobile, when you are going to buy the mobile, then you will be see all these things. Similarly, when we talk about the IoT devices also, we need to check some parameters, okay, and based on that we are going to choose that. That is why the name of the today's topic is choosing your platform, okay. Means what is your platform you need to choose, and we are choosing our platform based on some parameters. We will discuss one by one what are those parameters are that we will be discussing, but remember we need to check some parameters, okay. Right, so here the platform you choose depends on the particularly blended of price, performance and capability, okay. Remember here one thing, many people will think about price first, isn't it? So we are going to see anything, if you are going to get one particular device which is very low cost but giving good performance, definitely you are going to buy it. So definitely you can buy it like that. First and foremost, any people will be think about your price, and then they may think about the performance also, okay, what is the performance of that particular device, and also the capabilities of that mobile, the device capabilities, okay. So that is why if you see, read this one, we will discuss one by one those things what we are looking for, that we will see, but remember that these are the mandatory things people usually sees that, okay, and capabilities that suit what you are trying to achieve. Means let us consider by this one what you can understand here, we may see the price, we may see the performance, and also we may see the capabilities. Means whether the device whatever you are trying to buy, whether the device is capable of doing your work or not. Means for example, you want to buy a IoT device for one particular purpose, whether that the device whatever you are trying to buy, whether that device will be capable, means having the capabilities of doing those works or not, that we need to think. So like that you always try to see some particular parameters, and then we can go on by the uh, IoT device, and we can choose the what platform is the better for the IoT device, that we will be seeing, okay. Yes, now if you see here, choosing of your platform, now your platform can be chosen depending upon all these parameters. These are the parameters you have to look at, you need to look into. The first parameter is the processor speed, okay. This is nothing but the speed of your processor. We will discuss each and everything in detail, but remember here the first platform is the processor speed. So first and foremost you need to look what is the speed of that particular processor where they used in the IoT device. Then after that you can also choose, means you can also see the RAM, okay, read only memory, so RAM, right. Sorry, not read only memory, read access memory. So RAM, that you are going to see that the first one is the processor speed, second one is the RAM, and then third one you need to think about the networking also. We will discuss one by one what all those things and all, but remember these are the outlines. So here the networking, so processor speed, RAM and network, and also you can think about the USB, okay. So you need to choose your platform based on these things, like power consumption is another parameters which you need to think, and also interfacing with the sensor and other circuitry. Let us consider IoT means what, as we discussed, it is going to interaction between device to device, so device to device, Means whether whatever device you are trying to buy, whether it is uh, sensing the sensor information or not. Okay, means or it is whether it is interfacing or is connecting to the sensor or not. And also not only with sensor, whether it is interfacing with other device or not, or other circuits or not, that is important parameter. So that is also one of the major parameter which we need to think about. Finally, we can say the size also, the physical size and form factor. This is also important parameter. Okay, where this needed, we can look into this. Means order will be this, like this we will be see. So you can choose your platform based on this criteria, like your first year processor speed, then you can go for the RAM, okay, and then networking, okay, and then USB, power consumption, interfacing with sensor and other circuitry. Finally, we can say physical size and then the form factors. So these are the different parameters are there which we need to look into when you are going to choose your platform. Yes. Now processor speed. So as we know already, we know have some idea about this. See, processor speed means I can say clock speed also. Okay, processor speed and clock speed. Let us consider when you are trying to buy any electronic device like laptop or in your mobile, then they may give that in the specification. So and so processor is having the speed of 2.5 gigahertz. They will be seeing like that. They will be giving you this one. Means the processor speed of that particular device is this much. This much of the processing speed will be there. So this is what 2.5 gigahertz of the processing speed for that particular this one processor. Now we can also consider, just I told you, the clock speed. Now tell me what happens if processor speed is more, then what happens? If processor speed is less, then what happens? Means if you are going to have more processor speed, then the instruction what you are trying to give to the device will give you the quick output, or execution of the instructions will be very fast when you are going to have the higher speed processor. So if processor speed is increasing, what happens? The whatever individual instructions you are going to give to the machine, okay, the executions will be that fast. So remember here, whenever you are giving some instruction and if processor speed is very high, then you will be getting with the fraction of second, you will be getting your output. If your processor speed is not so good, then definitely the time will be more you take to execute the program or instruction. So that is what the important here, why we use the processor speed is more, because here you see the processor speed or clock speed of your processor tells you, okay, how fast it can be processed the individual instruction in the machine code for the programming running. Means when program is running, when you are doing something, when program is running, how fast that instruction is executed is depending upon your depending upon your processor speed. That is why processor speed should be, we need to keep more for the complicated applications or complicated instruction. So that naturally a faster processor speed means that it can execute instruction more quickly. That is what I am telling you. Processor speed more means the execution of the instruction is more quickly, so you can get a quicker output. Okay, and like processor speed and clock speed, don't get confused, both are same. Okay, so remember these things here. Okay, right, so that is what you have to remember. And you can also, you might also make a comparison based on millions of instruction per second. See, let us consider for personal reason, whatever computers or whatever device we are using, we may do a very small amount of work. So in our case, speed may not be that important because it cannot show the differences. But now let us think, there are millions of instructions per second to be executed. Okay, now practical problem I am talking about. when we are talking about any practical application, if any instruction means any device, okay, means the instructor is giving the millions of instruction to device within a second, okay, in order to get the quicker output, you should have process speed will be more. So that is what you should remember. So we cannot think in our point of view, but generally I'm talking about if processor speed will be more, then execution time will be less, and you are going to get the quicker output. That is what you have to remember. Okay, means this is depending upon whatever I am talking about. The execution time or execution of your instruction will be depending upon the how means what kind of instruction you are giving and what are the specifications you are going to use. So that is different, that is depending upon those parameters always. Okay, and always remember, for example, I'll give you an example. And if you are giving the instruction which is more complicated, okay, involving more complicated mathematics, let us consider, okay, now you give the instruction which involves many multipliers, okay, many multiplications has to done by the system. In that particular case, it will require more number of time to execute the instruction. So what happened here, in order to execute that particular instruction, okay, so there are some hardware support, okay, may be required to the processor in order to execute those complicated mathematics or complicated instruction in a quicker way. Means what I mean to say here is that there are some hardware supporters for multiple for complicated mathematics, and if you use your those hardware supports, then you will be getting quicker output. So that is what issue. Some processor may lack hardware support for the floating point calculation. That is what means whenever you are going to use complicated mathematics expression, and in order to execute those instruction, it will take some time. But if you use the hardware support for that particular problem, then definitely you are going to get somewhat better output. Means you are going to get quick output than the without hardware support. So there are some processor which are not going to use the hardware support. In that case, definitely your what I can say, the execution time will be more. But if you use your hardware support, execution time will be less. Hence, the processor speed will be the important factor here. So that is what I already told you. If you are giving simple instruction, that's okay because you can get it within a fraction of second. But if you are going to give a complicated mathematical equation and that to be millions of instruction, there will be a problem. Okay, right? That is what you have to. So if the code involves a lots of complicated mathematics, okay, that is what I told you. By the number of slower processor with the hardware floating point support could be faster than this later. Means that is what whenever you are going to use the complicated mathematics expression, and if you use the hardware support there, you will be getting the slightly higher performance than the without hardware supporting. Hardware supporting, whatever output you are going to get with hardware support, slighter better than the without hardware support. That you have to remember. Okay, so remember, so generally you will use the processor speed as one of the number of factor when weighing the similar system. Okay, means that is what, see, what actually I told you will tell you. For example, let us consider you have written a program which involve much instruction. But nowadays people will be, what people will you do you know. So uh, when people are working on research like videos, okay, speech, like image processing and all, there if you write on the program, okay, if you write on the program and if you try to execute it, it will take 2 to 3 days to execute one program. Reality I'm talking about, 2 to 3 days it will take to execute one output. Now again, if they want to change any modification, means they have to run to see their output. They will run today, and after 2 days, third day they will execute, or they will see their output. And if any changes need to be done, then they will do based on their output, and they have to change again, they have to run again, they need to wait 2 more days. Means in that particular case, your process speed will be, should be more, so that the performance will be increasing, okay, better than the previous case. Like that you have to remember. And now if you talk about your processor speed in case of microcontroller, and then in case of circuit on board. In microcontroller, see, when I told you, see, when I have given the specification of your Arduino, I told you your means the RAM and those things, right? So here if you talk about the microcontroller, in the microcontroller, your processor speed will be in terms of megahertz only, okay, in terms of megahertz. But whereas your system on chip, if you talk about system on chip, then your processor speed will be more than, okay, more than megahertz, or most probably below the gigahertz. Means I can say here, when you talk about microcontroller, we can use few uh, megahertz, means like 10 megahertz, 20 megahertz, 30 megahertz, and so on. But when you talk about SOC means system on chip, the microprocessor speed will be, sorry, not microprocessor, the processor speed will be hundreds of your, the processor speed in your microcontroller. Means here you can use tens of megahertz, means 10 megahertz, 20 megahertz, 30 megahertz you can use. But in case of system on chip, you can use hundreds of megahertz, means 100 megahertz, 200 megahertz, 300 megahertz, okay, slightly lower than the gigahertz. So I can say here 100 to 900 megahertz you can use, okay. So like that I can say, if you compare these two devices by seeing the processor speed, then which one is better? Obviously system on chip is better, because processor speed is having hundreds of megahertz, whereas microcontroller will have the clock speed in tens of megahertz. That is what I told. Clock speed is nothing but the micro speed. So that is why if you want to execute the complicated instruction, better to choose SOCs. But if you are using like normal instruction, you can also go like your microcontroller, so that you can get it easily, you can get it. There is no much differences now, okay. And now if you talk about your, now whatever I am telling you is my processor speed. How you have to choose, how you have to choose is purely depending upon the application what you use. What is your application? Means the project what you use, depending upon that you can choose what is your processor speed. Now if you are using very ordinary instruction, for if you want to use very ordinary instruction, then you no need to have the higher processor speed. But if there is but if your project involved many complicated things and all, then you need to go for the higher speed processor. So that is what you should remember, okay. So in that way you can choose your processor speed, okay. Now next parameter is what, the RAM. So after processor speed, we need to think about the RAM. Now I'll give you the conclusion of the processor speed. Remember one thing here, if processor speed is high, then your execution time will be less. Means your program or your instruction is executed with very less time. But here you should remember, and also one of the thing here is microcontroller and system on chip. If you compare your processor speed, then the processor speed of your microcontroller is less than the processor speed of your system on chip, because microcontroller will be having in terms of tens of megahertz, whereas system on chip will have the hundreds of megahertz. And now how you are going to choose this processor speed, means depending upon your project, depending upon your application, okay. So depending upon your application, you can choose whether you can use the higher speed processor or not. That is what regarding the processor speed. And then we will go for the RAM. So here RAM also is a kind of memory. I can say RAM provides the working memory. So I'll give you with example. Let us consider you are having a system. you are running 10 application at a time. Okay, 10 application at a time. And now if you want to increase this 10 application to few more, let us consider 100 application if you want to use at a time, then definitely in these two cases the RAM size here, even if you use lower RAM size, that's okay, but in this case for same RAM size it may not be work, because here the RAM, whatever the size of RAM you're using here and size of RAM is same, then this 100 applications may not be functions properly. Okay, so RAM size, what RAM is doing here is that now whenever you are opening all those 100 applications for that particular running time, you need to means the memory is required to store this data. Okay, in order to store this current application, the memory we require, so that memory is provided by the RAM. That is why RAM size is more in the more applications. And also I can say here the RAM, if you are going to have RAM is more, then slighter your again your means the execution of these different types of applications will be faster. That is why see, whenever you are using lesser RAM and if you are using the many applications, then definitely sometime our system will be going hang and all, and the system may not be working. That is why usually where we'll go, we will go in a task manager and then we'll be deleting the current files, because our depending upon our RAM size. If RAM size is more, then it will execute more number of application. If RAM size is less, then definitely it cannot run all those application at a time. That is why RAM also one of the important parameter where when we are going to choose the platform. So here it, if you have more RAM, you may able to do more things. That is what you can do more things. Instead of 10, you can do 100 and 1000 if your RAM size is high. Okay, or have more flexibility over your choice of coding algorithm. That is what I told you. So depending upon your requirement, you can use many application at a time when your RAM size is high. But if your RAM size is limited, okay, let us consider your RAM size is 512 KB, okay, and other RAM size is let us consider 8 GB, then definitely in this case you cannot use many applications, but in this case you can use. So that is what you have to remember. So that is why RAM also one of the important parameter when we use when we going to take the devices that we need to look into. Okay, like this, if you are handling larger database on the devices, that could gone how much space you need. That is what I told just now. Okay, and then you can often find way to work around the memory limitation, either in code by handling the processing and online services like that. Anything, not only this, anything whenever you are going to apply many applications, definitely you need to have the RAM size is high. Remember that point. So high RAM size means better output, and I can also use the many applications. And here also the RAM size, how we are going to choose RAM size and all, it's very difficult to give the suggestion. So you know, to take only two RAM, 2 GB RAM, and then 4 GB RAM, and then 6 GB RAM, and 8 GB RAM. We cannot decide it because it's purely depending upon what kind of again applications you are using or project you are using, or whatever what kind of project you are doing. Let us consider if you are doing any project, okay, and if that project is like need to have more space and more faster, then you need to choose according to that. So here also we cannot tell that, but depending upon the application. Let us consider for mobile case also. So people will usually prefer for the higher RAM size, 6 GB, 8 GB. But whatever applications we are using in our mobile, or whatever work we are doing with our mobile, 4 GB RAM also enough for us. Even 2 GB also enough for us, because we are not doing any complicated instruction. We are not executing any instruction. Just we are using for our personal purpose. So that in that case, your RAM is require less. So remember here, is depending upon people's what I can say, people's requirement, what kind of size of RAM they need, and for what purpose they need. Depending upon that, they will choose the RAM size also. So that is what you should remember. Again, as we compare as we compare the processor speed, okay, in microcontroller and then the SoC, we can compare our RAM also. Now, if you remember, Arduino is a kind of microcontroller device, and when I have given you specification, and if you remember your RAM size of the Arduino, it's kind in terms of KB only. Okay, in terms of KB only. It was in terms of KB. I did not give 1 KB, 4 KB, 2 KB in terms of KB. Okay, so here if you see the microcontroller RAM, so is in terms of KB, but whereas if you talk about your SoC means like your system on chip, in terms of megabytes is there, in terms of kilobytes, in terms of megabytes. So definitely RAM is more in the SoC. That is what I can remember. Again, I'll tell you one thing here is, every time when you talk about your processor speed or RAM, you have to see what is your requirement. If requirement is like more, then you can choose for better processor and better RAM and all. But if you are using normal, for normal purpose, no need to choose for higher size of RAM and higher speed of the the processor speed and all. That you always remember. Okay, so this is regarding the RAM. And then third one is the networking. If you remember in the table, first I have given the processor speed, and then I have given RAM, and then third one is the networking. The third one is the networking. Now let us consider, so now I'll give you one thing here. So remember, networking. Now you want to use the device, you want to use the IoT device, but you have chosen the processor of that IoT device very good. Let us consider. You have chosen good processor speed, means the processor you have chosen very good, and RAM also you have chosen very good. Let us consider you want to connect this device to another device. IoT means what? It has to interact device to device or device to human being. That is what it has to do, right? Means it need to talk machine to machine or machine to human being. Means whenever you're trying to connect between two devices or connecting between one person to device, how it is going to connect it, how accurately it's giving the connection and giving information or passing information to the other fellow. That is important here. So that is why network is also one of the important. Now if you see how your device connect to the rest of the world, because we are using internet, right? Using internet in order to connect the device, and with the help of the internet you are going to pass the information, or you can control the device, or you can communicate as you want. So that is why network is the important parameter here. Network is giving the connection between the devices, means one particular device to internet. Yes, it has to connect, then only you can do anything. Okay, so that is why whenever you are talking about the networking, we need to see how this is going to connect to the internet or to the outside world. We need to consider this is a very basic phenomena. Means we have to think about this, whether this networking is properly connecting or not, whether networking is there or not. So we need to think about that also. So that is why I have given here, how your device connects to the rest of the world is key consideration of the internet of thing product. Whenever you are going and buy internet product, you need to think how this product is going to connect to the outside world. That is important parameter. So we need to think about that. We need to see whether networking is good or not, means it's connecting good or not. That we need to think. Okay, so people are using different mobile phones. Some people are getting coverage. Some people are may not be getting coverage. Means like Wi-Fi. Means depending upon the networking system. So here you should remember networking is important. Again, here you can connect here. Networking is two different way. One is like your wired connection, other one is your wireless connection. Isn't it? Connection is again two different way. One is wired, other one is the wireless. But if you talk about wired connection is very simple connection and you can use it, isn't it? But you require, what do you require? You require cables. In order to connect, you need to have the cables. And if you are like, if you are in journey, or if you are moving from one place to another place, and every time carrying those cables and it is not, people don't like it, right? So that is why wireless connection is also another uh, phenomena where we can connect to our devices. So that is why wire ethernet is another one, other one is the wireless. Okay, the first one, wired one is very easy, simple, but it requires lots of physical cables. Okay, so and when you talk about this one, what I can say, wireless and wide will give you the better output sometimes because you are connected with wire, right? And wireless may have sometime range, may not have sometime range. So these two. So here wireless solutions obviously avoid that requirement but introduce more complicated configurations. Means what kind of requirement? Means the cable requirement not needed here. So we are avoiding the cable requirement here. So we are not going to use in cable connection in the case of wireless communication. So this is what the advantage will get. But remember, when you talk about the configurations complicated, means the, the complexity of the configuration in wireless communication will be more when compared to the wired communication or wired connection. That is why the wired connection or wired networking is easy, but required cable, more cable. But here in wireless communication, we avoided the requirement of the cable, but we are having more complicated configuration. Configurations are here complicated. Okay, so that these are the different scenario. We have to always trade up between those two, and then we will choose whatever we like. Like, okay, Wi-Fi is the most widely deployed to provide an existing infrastructure. See here, whatever we are using, with the help of Wi-Fi, we are connecting the networks and we are using all those things. Now also I am teaching you with the help of the Wi-Fi only. And now we are going to connect my device to your device with the help of the internet. And here I connected with the Wi-Fi. But here the Wi-Fi will be more expensive than some other devices are there. Some other devices are there. When compared to those devices, the Wi-Fi will be more expensive. Okay, and here what are those devices? I'll tell you. But remember one thing: Wi-Fi is giving better output, and even it is complicated, we can get some output. But there are some other device which we can get it with the lesser price, and we will get the same kind of output. But always remember, these wireless and wired communications do two different, having two different advantages and two different drawbacks. Okay, so this is what one of the things, like whatever I told you, right? So like Wi-Fi, you are going to have another device called Zigbee. So Zigbee is another device where you can use to connect the network. But remember, the one major difference between Wi-Fi and Zigbee is in Zigbee we are going to have the limited bandwidth. So bandwidth is very limited. That is why range may not be more, and we may not use, okay, means many people, because bandwidth size is less. So that is what the difference. But here if you talk about like your expensive case, means your price and all, here we can get the lesser price. That is why Wi-Fi became so popular because of the bandwidth. Okay, so because of the bandwidth. And another connection you can made always using the Bluetooth. This is another networking system, okay, where we can connect the device to device. Okay, so like that we are going to have different types of networking. Okay, so all those things are like your Wi-Fi, wired connection, okay, Bluetooth, all those things you can connect using these things. So this is what the networking. So here networks also important parameter which we need to see before we go for the IoT devices. Okay, so this is what regarding your networking. Then tomorrow I will discuss from the USB. So I will stop here because the time is almost 2:48. That's okay. So I will stop here. So tomorrow I will start from the USB. Okay. So this is regarding your these things means you need to have processor speed is more. Okay, and RAM size should be more, and here the networking should be means you can use the networking here based on your requirement. Again, as I told you, based on your requirement you can use here. And remember, Wi-Fi giving somewhat better means better output, but there are some devices where we can use in order to connect the devices, but bandwidth is less when compared to the Wi-Fi. So like these three different networking systems and RAM and then processor speed we have discussed. So tomorrow I'll discuss from USB onwards. And that's it for today's class. If anybody has any doubt, please respond. Otherwise, you may leave the class. Any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, you may leave the class. Thank you. Thank you so much.